So excited just coming off of that piece to get into our last artist, last poet for the evening, poet, singer, amazing with the cadence, tries to hide it, but she can't because we know what she brings. This is Supernatural Cee on the mic, on the screen, full attention to what she's ready to bring because it's a level beyond high level. Supernatural
Oh,
Cee, the floor is yours.
thank you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Yes, I need this intro. These intros. You're going up in the world with these intros, girl. Um, I just want to say as well, just off the back of what we were just discussing before I forget the point, that I think when you have internal calm, you are in a position to choose your response. And I think we've had that conversation a few times recently that, and I was just telling my daughter this morning, sometimes you have to draw your sword. That the answer isn't to go around always peaceful, because real love, self-love, and love for others is boundaries and discipline. And so sometimes, especially we know as adults in the most basic of ways, with little children, you can't just let them run riot because there's risks out there. So you can't just say go out and play in the street and let them dance in the middle of the road with cars coming past. Do you know what I mean? So the presence allows you to have a controlled response. And in the moment you decide, am I going to be calm here? Or am I going to draw my sword and say, yo? But when you don't have that internal calm, that whatever response, whether it looks calm or looks aggressive, isn't necessarily authentic, because you're not moving from a place of stillness, you're moving from a place of chaos, as you said. Um, so yeah, thank you so much, Sinsonia, and thank you for that wonderful intro. I feel boosted. So this poem is called Flame, and it was inspired by, I wrote this probably a couple of years ago, and in preparation for today, I just went through, I had a few ideas, but I went through one of my old books and I found this piece. And I was like, oh my goodness, I even forgot I wrote it. Um, but this is a true story where I was read. I had an angel reading, and I haven't always believed in this stuff. But what they said was so on point. And they said to me that we see you sitting in a white room. This was before all my creativity just started to pour out. So this was when I was in the middle of despair, dark night of the soul, all of that, and just kind of surviving through life. And they said, we see you in a white room and you're sitting there, and what we're being told is you need to get color and just throw it. You need to throw this color on the walls. You need to, you are harnessing all this creativity, but it's trapped. You're not letting it out. And I was like, what? How do you know? So this is Flame. They read, the angel said, I'm in a white room, consumed in kaleidoscope colors. They told me holding back permitted others to detract. Now I must give up all of that to set alight my flame. Do I know my name? For when my mind's eye opens to my soul's cries, only I see what heart desires, and I've been tired. Denial of the most important part. It was always me, from the start. This imagination, my internal visions, are bright with stories, laced with glory, for the world is right out there in me. They play and I watch. Characters, scenery, inches from touch. Always too much, over enough. Colors correct. I'm amazed by this. Trust. In me. I must in me. But it's just me that can lead me to we. So I dream in the day, during night for the ways, to keep igniting, continue firing, always lighting, my flame.
Yes, yes.
So we always lighting my flame, literally always. The moment you let it die internally, you get cold. And it's better to keep kindling the fire than to have to reignite it every single time it goes out. Because why are you letting it go out? And then that becomes the foolish question. Why must you let your flame keep going out in order to give it that respect and appreciation? That was a beautiful, amazing piece.
Thank you, sis.
Of course, of course. Ooh, that spoke.
Oh,
No,
it
no, go
was.
ahead, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. Can I add to that? So, Caroline, honey, if you didn't have that experience, this would not have birthed.
Yeah.
This is one of your, were the kids already here when you had that reading?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, okay. So I was gonna say them too, but yeah, also, and what you put in them, what you're instilling in them, it also shows um, that that was needed. You know, that reading coming from your ancestors and your spirit guides, letting you know that there's so many beautiful things in store for you when you open up.
And you
And
know,
yes,
it's what I find fascinating is it's a common thing, and people, as I said before, it's not the experience can be different, but the feeling is the same. So I overstand, understand what other people say. You know what, particularly today at this moment in time, the goddess Anahata and Synthonia in that feeling trapped thing. You know, and when you get to the truth of it, and you go, why though? We get we push ourselves inside. So my experience of pushing myself inside came from being other, came from being black in a white environment, came from always feeling like you aren't allowed in this group. You're in this school, you're in this class, and today we'll play with you, tomorrow we won't. Give thanks I had a firm family home life, but equally creativity in a Caribbean upbringing is rarely supported in this environment. You got to be academic, you got to go for a career. What you're doing sitting around painting, do you know what I mean? But when it gets down to it, what are you holding back for? Because who does it matter for? We've been brainwashed into believing that this is all for other people, and it's not. It's for yourself. You know, like Mary just said, you let it out because that's your heart's expression. You know what I mean? Whether that's running, whether that's bike riding, whether that's doing boxing, you know, you let it out because that's what your spirit desires. And to close it off and to hide it because other people feel uncomfortable, or because they tell you that's not something you should do, is a futile task, because you kill yourself. That is a slow death, you know. So like as you said, Mary, you know, that reading helped. And it's the I don't need anybody to clarify me on anything, because I'm expressing my true self all the time. So it doesn't matter what anyone thinks, you know. But that's a journey for some of us.
I agree. I am. Tell me what you're feeling because I seen you so intently listening. So tell me what's going on through your mind.
So, being brought up in a Rastafarian household, a lot of times we hear, "Oh, fire burn, burning fire." When you got to the end, that's what really resonated, because the fire burning is not something that's supposed to like be a bad thing. It's supposed to reveal what is, bring light to the situation. So that's something that really stood out, and I think is so on point that it ended with you speaking about the fire.
Thank you, I. Thank you.
You're
Mhm.
welcome.
And a lot of different cultures use fire meditation as even a healing process, whether it's a big flame or a small flame, whether you're looking into a candle or an open bonfire. using the fire as a clarity, as a cleansing. And to Ayamai's point, fire, depending on what you're using it for, the flame is not bad. As long as you're using it for not only you, but for the benefit of those around you, then your flame is not bad. You can take the flame inside and you can burn down everything around you. Or you can take that flame inside and keep yourself warm and the people around you warm. You can use that flame to light the way, or you can use that flame to turn everything into ash. And even when it does, you can use that ash to become ink and make tribal marks for yourself that I have become the phoenix. This part has gone from the ashes, and from the ashes I have arisen a phoenix, phoenix all enclosed in the flames. And now you can scribe that with the ash of who you used to be. So you making and creating that piece has so many different levels and layers, especially considering the time that you said you made it and how it still applies to you in an entirely new way, reading it right now. So that's so powerful.
Thank you. And I just want to add that everybody's light in here. This group and this regular communion has been a big part of, and it's cosmic, and I know it, and it's obvious. Me celebrating me in the mirror of everybody in this room, and Ms. Ice, and I am Adriana T. You know, everybody's authenticity and truth and the mutual love and support it's growing me even more, you know, and there's so much power and beauty in just telling your truth, you know, because we are all vulnerable and we all have our not weaknesses but our sensitivities or whatever. And this space is a place, a safe space. I'm going to say it is a safe space, and I truly am grateful and give thanks for it. You all are supremely beautiful people, and I'm grateful for you.
You too, sister. I told her when we talked the other day, I said, tell my niece, I said, happy birthday.
She loves this. They love this.
I forgot. Yes, please. I'm sorry. I said happy belated.
So sweet.
Cynthia says as she munches on her crisp. Are you eating them chips?
What
You're not
what are you
supposed to
eating,
be
Tom?
them chips. Ooh,
Oh.
Yes, I'll shut up now.
It's all good.